Hello and welcome back to Paul's Beer Reviews. Hope you're doing well today and Happy New Year again. This is my first proper beer review of 2023 and I'm going with a big Belgian beer, and this is a beer that was given to me by my good friend Chris at Chris's Beer Reviews. It's from Kasteel Brewery and it is their Barista should I say, and their chocolate quad, and it's coming in at a sessionable 11% ABV. Chris swears by this beer and he always takes the mick out of me because I'm not a massive Belgian beer fan, but he's adamant I will enjoy this one. I mean, it's got Barista chocolate quad written on the bottle cap. It's got the Belgian beer mark right there, so you know it's legit. It's all written in Belgium. But yeah, Chris loves this beer. I don't even know what to say. Contains barley malt. It's got no ingredients. Well, I can read anyway. So 11% chocolate quad. Now, I've had a few Belgian beers. I admire the craftsmanship. I admire the brewing techniques and the quality that goes into them. But there's something about the sweetness, the yeast, the addition of sugar that a lot of the Belgian brewers go with that just puts me off a little bit. But I do like chocolate, and I have had a couple of decent Belgian doubles lately, but they're actually from a Belgian brewer who's based in England, funnily enough. But yeah, this is a legitimate Belgian quad, but it's called a chocolate quad. So we're going to get stuck into this one, see if it's any good. Chris is probably going to cry if I don't like it, so let's hope for the best. Oh goodness me, that is a really chocolatey aroma. I'm going to pour it into this sort of Belgian style goblet. Goblet, great word. Get it all in, give it a bit of a wriggle at the bottom. Any yeasty sediment bits and bobs that might have been floating around at the bottom, get them all in there. Yeah. Let's give that a bit of a dink. Tiny bit of carbonation was sticking to the side of the glass. It's not quite jet black. There is a bit of red bleeding through that. Not sure if you can pick it up. You might just get a little bit of red bleeding through that. You can also see me. There's me. Yeah, it's a really dark with a touch of red bleeding through the glass. Half a finger, slightly tanned head that is just starting to dissipate a little bit now, but at 11%, you can't be too surprised at that. Let's get me snouting, see what the aroma is telling us. Oh, that is like chocolate powder. Oh my goodness, that is like dark chocolate powder. It smells like you've walked into a kitchen where someone's making a crazy rich chocolate cake. There's a slight touch of sort of a dark fruit thing going on. Maybe a bit of cherry, maybe. Oh, smells delicious, really does. There's no kind of Belgian yeastiness coming out at me on this one. This is like sort of dark chocolate powder and a touch of cherry. Oh, wow, and you give it a wriggle, there's even more coming out. Now I'm getting a bit of that candied fruit. Now there's a little bit of Belgium coming through. It smells amazing. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Cheers. Core. God, bloody hell, it's still going. Chris, I'll give you credit, son. You've picked a winner here. Wow. That's actually bloody good. That is actually really good. Oh, bloody hell. What a way to start the year. What a way to start the year. It is dark chocolate, raisins, touch of cherry. There's a dryness to it. Apologies, we're back. My phone had a brain fart. That's the joy of recording off the phone. The channel was way too basic. Way too basic. I was just saying there's a lovely dryness to this beer. Makes you want to come back to it. There's hops playing a part in this. No idea what hops gone into it because I can't read a word that's on the bottle, but it's got a considerable amount of body to it, as you could imagine. It's fascinating because there's not nearly as much kind of roasty, sort of bitter character that you would get from a beer that looks this colour. Normally, it's certainly not a stout, but it's got the body of a stout. There's a floral note to it. There's a lightness to it, despite the sort of medium-bodied, sticky kind of mouthfeel to it. It really clings to your palate. Despite that, there's no kind of roastiness that you would kind of associate with a stout or a beer of this colour generally. This is actually quite remarkable. There's that touch of cherry, touch of dark fruit, sort of like resinous quality to it, and then chocolate, like plain chocolate powder. You know, have you ever kind of sneaked a bit of chocolate powder when perhaps you're doing a hot chocolate and straight away regretted it? It's got that flavour, but there's nothing I regret about that. So there's a slight floral note, a touch of dark fruit, lovely dark chocolate. And there is a touch of a candied sweetness, a touch of a candied fruit element to it that is very Belgian. Very Belgian, and normally it's not something I like, but the chocolate, the body to it, that dark fruit, that sort of cherry character, it just does enough to overpower that slightly sort of candied fruit, that sort of candied sweetness that you get from Belgian beer, the sort of yeasty character. It keeps it down, and it's firmly got the chocolate's firmly got a boot on top of it. It holds it down. This is delicious. This is absolutely delicious. I can understand why Chris really likes this. I get it. And I'll tell you what, there is a slight booziness to it. It is warming me up a little bit, but it doesn't drink like an 11% for me. This drinks 7, 8 tops, which I think is always credit to the brewers when they can drink a beer, when they can make a beer that's this strong, but it drinks like a lighter beer. I always think the brewers deserve a bit of credit there. And this is lovely. The lacing on the glass, the quality of this from a bottle as well. Yeah, this is really, really nice. I think this is the first beer it may actually be the first beer I've ever had from Kasteel, let alone the first beer I've ever reviewed from them. Yeah, Chris is a massive fan of this one, and he basically threw a bottle at me and said, you need to review this. You need to drink it. You need to try it. And I was like, oh, it's bloody Belgian, mate. But he's like, trust me, you'll like it. He wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong. There's characteristics of a chocolatey stout there without it being stouty, if that makes any sense. Probably not. It's sweet. It's full-bodied. Chocolate in abundance. Dark chocolate in abundance. A lovely dark fruit, which kind of balances it out. A nice dryness to it from that dark chocolate. That plain, slightly bitter, dry note you get from plain chocolate is there. This is wonderful. This really is a cracking Belgian beer, and I'm not sure I've had a better Belgian beer than this, if I'm honest. I don't think I have. I've had a few triples, a couple of doubles that I've really enjoyed, but I'm not sure I've enjoyed a Belgian beer quite as much as this one. Down the hatch and gone. That's quality. That's quite extraordinary. I don't know if this is from like a range. I don't know if this is one of Kasteel's core range beers, or if the Barista range is like a special range of beers they do. Answers below if you know. That's an 11% beer, and I've just pretty much just nicked it. That's going to kick my ass. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous beer. It's my first proper beer review of 2023. And I think I'm going to have to chuck out my first 10 out of 10 of the year. And it's probably the first beer that's going to go onto the shelf behind me. Wonderful beer. Chris, thank you, mate. You were absolutely right with that one. Fair play, son. Not bad at all. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Barista. Chocolate quad from Kasteel. 11% Belgian ale. Lovely. Lovely. Solid 10 out of 10 for me. Cracking beer. What a start to the year. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Give it a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. Always helps. And till my next one, you take care.